You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, let's talk about the Green Bay Packers. I saw this article and was like, whoa, that's pretty surprising considering what this team ended up turning into. And I'm talking about the Green Bay Packers in that last 7-game run they went on, storming into the playoffs, and Jordan Love exploding. But Matt LaFleur has come out and said one thing that I believe is something that Packer fans should be somewhat concerned about, especially when you consider Matt LaFleur as an offensive head coach. But the lack of communication between him and Brian Gutekunst about one of their biggest players and what was going to end up being one of their biggest moves, and I don't know that this is necessarily an upgrade. The statistics don't bear it out. At least far as last season goes. I understand Aaron Jones is older than Josh Jacobs. I get it. 3 years older, you're talking about running back. So, yeah, you can say from an age perspective, okay, maybe that's why you make the move. Also, Josh Jacobs' contract is really a series of one-year contracts, 4 one-year contracts. So they could, in theory, get out of it right after 1 year if it doesn't work out. But I cannot imagine Matt LaFleur being an offensive head coach and him not knowing anything about the fact that they were going to cut Aaron Jones. That is shocking. He also did not know they were going to sign Josh Jacobs. Well, this is the guy you're asking to orchestrate your offense. By the way, an offense that went toe-to-toe and nearly beat my 49ers, and they're officially one of the teams I'm worried about next year. Not to mention the fact that Matt LaFleur, there were a lot of questions. Can he do anything without Aaron Rodgers? Well, the last 7 games of the year, not even including the playoffs, Jordan Love really turned into something. So I think the Packers, as of right now, as far as I'm concerned, it's them and the Lions, and that division, considering what the Bears have done, and we don't know what the Vikings are ultimately going to look like because they still got playmakers. If they end up doing something at quarterback in the draft, that division's going to be very tough. So, here we go. This is, who is this? PFT, did Michael David Smith. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur says that until the first day that teams could talk to free agents this offseason, he was under the impression that running back Aaron Jones would be back in Green Bay. Wow, that's crazy. Instead, the Packers cut Jones and signed free agent running back Josh Jacobs, and Matt LaFleur said he didn't see it coming. Why in the world would the communication between Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur not be any better than that? That's concerning because I'm going to tell you, as a Niners fan, I remembered the fractures that started emerging between Trent Baalke and Jim Harbaugh and how that went off the rails, and it went off the rails very quickly. And a lot of Niners fans, looking back, would have loved the organization to have picked Jim Harbaugh over Trent Baalke. All right? That GM and coach have to be in lockstep. Quote, it kind of caught me off guard, to be honest with you. You blindsided your coach with one of his star players, one of his biggest playmakers, leaving the team. Matt LaFleur said via the Wisconsin State Journal, there were some things in play, obviously, with Aaron Jones, and I didn't quite know how everything was going to go. It just happened really fast on that Monday. The Packers had hoped to convince Jones to take a pay cut, but he declined and was released instead. He signed a 1-year, $7 million contract with the Vikings, while the Packers gave Jacobs a 4-year, $48 million contract. Again, that's pretty stiff and that's pretty high, and I like Josh Jacobs. It's a series of 1-year contracts up to 4 years. So they could get out of it, but yet my issue is you're not going to fully have your coach in on this. I mean, it's crazy. He didn't even have the details of this. It happened really fast, so I don't know all the details of that, LaFleur said. I'm not involved in those types of conversations, but we were super excited to get Jacobs. Now we'll see Jones twice, and they'll hope Jacobs proves to be an upgrade that LaFleur didn't see coming. Guys, I hate that. If I'm a Packers fan, I don't like to hear that my offensive head coach had no idea that they were going to cut one of his biggest weapons. And you may be sitting back going, well, Josh Jacobs is an obvious upgrade. Is he? Is he? I understand he's 29, but this is PFS running back grades for 2023. Aaron Jones is the 9th best running back in the NFL. Josh Jacobs is 50th. I would be very careful thinking that right now. Because the one thing that is clear when you look, and this is Aaron Jones, when you bring up the receiving side of the ball, this guy gets in the end zone. He's got 18 career touchdowns catching the ball out of the backfield. Josh Jacobs, folks, has none. 0. He's never caught a ball and took it to the end zone. That would concern me. Does he have a real knack for getting in the end zone, running the ball? Yeah. But look at your offense you run, too. So I think the biggest concern there, and I'm sure LaFleur will figure out how to make Josh Jacobs work, but even worse, look, if the Vikings can figure out anything with quarterback in the draft, they got Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, and Aaron Jones. They're going to score some points. If they even get mediocre quarterback play out of Sam Darnold, they're going to score some points. They're not going to be an automatic out. So, anyway, they're going to give people hell on the offensive side of the ball. Now, Jordan Love has come out and made some comments about where he believes the Packers stand right now after that run they went on. And, guys, I mean, when I tell you this kid went on a run starting on Week 10, going through Week 17, you see this? 1 pick in 7 games, 16 touchdowns. Jordan Love, starting with Week 10, it officially clicked. The light came on, and he was off and running. So you have found out that I think the questions, you need to see it this season for sure. But I think a lot of questions were answered about Jordan Love, especially when they went in. This 48-32 playoff win against Dallas was never really that close. I mean, it was a dumpster fire. He went 16 for 21 in the game, 271, 3 touchdowns. And guys, they went toe-to-toe with the Niners. Quote, we're all hungry for this upcoming season, Love said on the recent episode of the Pivot podcast. The confidence from top to bottom is there. The organization believes it's the perfect time to have a chance to win the Super Bowl. Those conversations we had after the 49ers game were, man, work harder. Try to find ways to get better because next year we're going to do it. There's no more, we're a young team. All those wide receivers mature too. There's no more of those ifs. The Pivot podcast. People know what we're about, obviously. We'll have that target on our back. People want to beat us. We're hungry. I know everybody in that locker room is hungry and ready to get back. 4,100 yards, 32 touchdowns, 11 picks. I mean, his development all of a sudden went off the charts. And part of that, guys, is this dude right here that I used to hammer. I used to crush Matt LaFleur. I'm wrong. 56 wins in the regular season. I understand he's 3-4 in the postseason, but he's got 3 playoff wins. So he's not going anywhere anytime soon. But I cannot imagine a scenario where the general manager would not have Matt LaFleur in on every single detail of one of the most important players and positions on the team in his offense. I don't get that. It's not so much that they decided to trade out players. It's why didn't you have your coach fully involved in that? Even if you've got final say, don't you think you ought to give him a heads up that, hey, I'm going to cut Aaron Jones? So Matt LaFleur can at least go, what? Hold on now. Are you sure about this? There's nothing we can do here. All right? Have you seen? Oh, let's look. Josh Jacobs, he can't find the end zone when catching the ball out of the backfield. Brian, do we think that could be an issue? Brian? I don't know. It just seems like for such a very promising young team, I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like it a bit. And it starts, the drama between GMs and head coaches starts with things just like this. And you look up in 3 years, and one of the two have won a power struggle, and the other one's out the door. And Brian's drafted well, and Matt's coached well. So that's going to be interesting. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.